Hello everyone and thanks for stopping by my channel. I am Serge T. In this video I'll be talking about Friday Night Smackdown for June 14th, 2024. And this is the go home show for Smackdown one night before Clash of the Castle. And it emanates the Smackdown from Glasgow, Scotland. And I just noticed that Alba Fire and Isla Dawn weren't on this show. I mean, yeah, they're going to be at Clash at the Castle, but you would think, even though I believe they're not on this show, right? They're not on SmackDown. But are they? No, they're not. They're on Raw. But I don't know why I went there. Let's just move on, shall we? And Bailey opens the show. And she doesn't come alone as she is paired with her BFF Naomi. And then I realize, oh no, it's Naomi in one-on-one competition. And she goes one-on-one against Chelsea Green, who comes out with Samantha Irvin's ring announcing attached to her name. You hear the Chelsea Green on her theme song. And of course, Samantha still announces her name the same way, which is okay to hear twice. I don't mind it. I love hearing her when she says that. It's just who Chelsea Green is. The way she says, the way she pronounces the Chelsea Green's name, it fits her. And then Piper, she got a hometown welcome and cheers from Scotland as Chelsea Green was coming down the aisle with her BFF and says that they're going to be winning and both becoming the WWE Women's Champion. Is this going to kind of be a little thorn in Piper's side, as it's not going to be Chelsea Green as the champion? Maybe she agrees. I don't know. Right? And the annoying Bailey chants, asking if she will be their girl. I have never liked that. I always thought it was annoying, especially when they do it over and over and over again. Maybe a couple of times, but it sounds silly. I just don't like the sound of it. I think it's pretentious. But, you know, you watch Bailey, she's digging it, so I guess it's okay, right? For Bailey's sake, it's okay, I guess. But then we see it was a good, I mean, it was a competitive match. And Chelsea Green is very, very good. Naomi, that goes without saying how great she is. But then we see a roll-up by Naomi into a bridge. And she defeats Chelsea Green to win this match. And I don't know, Chelsea Green loses. And it doesn't seem to take her, what you want to call it, momentum, or take anything away from her. It's like she still looks good in the ring. And losing. How can you do that? How can that happen, right? You know? But, you know, that's how it is. I mean, she could have won. But does Naomi lose? Or what going to happen to her if she takes a loss here, right? If it was against Bailey, maybe, no. You know, Bailey should win because she's the champion if she was the one taking on Chelsea Green. But Naomi wins. Good for her. And congratulations on the glow. And then backstage, we find out that Apollo Crews is cleared to compete and will face Santos Escobar, who volunteers. I mean, he's talking to Nick Aldis backstage and says, "Oh, I heard that Apollo Crews is, he must be good now, because it was last week when he beat him down." And Nick Aldis says, "Yeah, he's cleared to compete," and then he volunteers himself to face Apollo Crews. Now, while the Grayson Waller show was being introduced, we see something that comes across the screen. I paused it. It says, "You refuse salvation," and it says there's a tick countdown. It's 2 hours, 59 minutes, 52 seconds, and The reckoning is inevitable. And it was followed up by a QR code. I didn't click the QR code, don't know what it said. Maybe I should have, but I just decided just to let it play out. I hear there's rumors, and I believe it's been confirmed that Uncle Howdy is going to be appearing on the 17th of June, which is Monday Night Raw, which is next week. Is that going to happen? Are people going to care anymore? I'm not saying I don't, but there's a lot of people out there that are like, you know, these YouTube, you know, the thumbnails, and, you know, you see the comments or people saying that they don't really care because it's like it's been dragging on too long. I can kind of agree in a sense that when is it going to be happening, right? But they did say June 17th, so it's finally here. But at the same time, they can't let this drag on too long. I don't care, meaning I don't mind it going on because that's the buildup. It makes you anticipate the arrival of Uncle Howdy. And people, please give it a shot. Give it a chance. Why is it that you guys are going to be like, oh, you know, I don't care anymore. It's been too long. What happened with, remember with Bray Wyatt? Remember what he did? And these things are pretty interesting. The damn QR code things and footage and all the stuff, the websites it takes you to and everything, right? With the psychiatrist and psychiatrist disappearing, and then she's seemingly talking to a bunch of people, or maybe she's talking to Uncle Howdy. I mean, you know, I haven't been following it because this is one of those things where I just have other things to do. It's kind of, you know, very, very time consuming, right? And I don't have time for that, even though I would love to. But I'm gonna see it play out, especially if he does make his debut on, return really, because he has been here before, but has his own entity without Bray Wyatt. You know, we're gonna see how. But this is Bro Dallas's chance, Taylor Rotunda's chance to break out. Unfortunately, it took his brother's passing, and pretty much I look at it as Bray passing the torch to his younger brother, and then see how he does. These guys have always been there for each other. They broke into the business together. They were a tag team in, was it OVW or FCW? I'm trying to remember where they started at, but then they ended up in NXT, and they went their separate ways, and Bo went on to become the NXT champion, and then Bray Wyatt was able to bring to life the character of Bray Wyatt, right, and the Wyatt family. Now we got the Wyatt 6 coming up with Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy. This is going to be what it's like with Cody, where Cody finally broke out. After being a mid-carder, a top-tier talent, but always a mid-carder. Here, Bo Dallas can easily be a main eventer, but we'll see. And like I said, it was displayed as the Grayson Waller show is introduced. And then we see that the Grayson Waller effect turns into an accusation of Waller putting Theory in harm's way last week. Remember when they were in a match with it was Waller versus Gargano, and Gargano dives, and then Waller pulls him into his, into his trajectory, if you will, and he ends up taking out Austin Theory. And DIY, they want a shot at the tag team titles, the WWE tag team titles, and they are very insistent, as Tommaso Ciampa says, that they are coming for them in those titles. As we see and hear the DIY chants that are heard in the arena. And then we see Gargano addressing Theory, telling him how much he respects him. He believes in his talent, but then he's disappointed because he's now in the situation that he's in with as a tag team champions, no doubt, no less. But he doesn't like that. He's saying, and he pretty much tells him with all confidence that he feels that Waller is using him And then what happens? They break into a brawl. And then there's an instance where we see another attack by DIY, right? One of them is going to try to attack Waller, and then it looked like Waller pulled Austin Theory again. Even the commentator said that. But actually, it was Theory that pushed him out of the way, and he got hit. You know. But like I said, they've been doing this before, where they would tease a breakup between these guys. It's like, you gotta remember, man, that not everybody is going to be a singles act. Not everybody can thrive on their own. Neither one of these guys, even though they're very talented enough, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, to be singles stars. But right now, keep them as a tag team. Build them up. A lot of people have lost confidence in Austin Theory. If he try to do this, what's going to happen? Austin Theory is going to be the babyface. Maybe it'll work for him as he goes against Waller. But right now, lay off the oh my God, can they coexist now? There's tension there. Austin Theory looks like he's being played or used as a he's being played like a fiddle by Waller. That could be just enough of that right now. Let them just thrive as a tag team. It was even mentioned that they haven't even defended their titles enough. I saw this graphic on X where they were showing the title defenses of all the champions. And I believe that they were like the bottom of that list. So, they got to focus on that and focus on defending their titles and not whether or not they can still stay together and coexist and will they break up one day. They just can't do that. Not right now. They need each other more than they need to be apart. And the KO backstage, and then we see the Street Profits and b-fab, like I say, looking fabulous as always. They're going to be in his corner. They're going to have his back as he faces Solo Sikoa. Now up next, Santos Escobar faces Apollo Crews in Who Gives a Fuck match. I'm sorry, but I'm not a big fan of either, really. I've been there with Santos in the past, and especially with Legado, even in NXT, but what have they done? Sporadic feuds here and there. No real focus. And all these three men and even Electro Lopez are very talented. But there's no focus. What is the focus on these guys, on these in Legado? Who's their focus? It's going to be on Apollo Crews? A glorified mid-carder? Jobber? And I'm not saying that to insult him. I'm saying that that's what WWE has been, what do you call it? They've been booking him that way. It's not me, folks. It ain't me. If I could book him, I would book him through his strengths. I know what he can do. I've said it in the past in my videos. He is amazing. Great talent, strong for his size. He's 240 pounds. That's not a small person. But he has the strength of a Braun Strowman, even let's look at people at the past like Lex Luger and all these guys who are not deceptively strong. They are strong because of how big they are, how muscular they are. And he has the strength of some of these guys that you would think, how can he be strong like these guys? But he is. And he's very talented, very athletic. Backflips into moonsaults, you know what I mean? Like he just standing moonsaults, just backflipping and all that stuff. Doing all that kinds of things that, make him an all-around athlete. But I don't know. Even as a promo, he's not that great either. I think he suffers from what Ricochet suffers from, is that great talent all around, but not great on the mic. So what's going to happen here? With this, is this going to be a continuous? And anyway, I remember when I was watching this match, I remember that Crews and Corbin were in a feud before Crews was called up to the main roster. I mean, the first time. This is when he debuted. He's fresh to the main roster. And he was in a pretty decent feud with Corbin back in the day. Corbin was attacking him all the time, laying him out. Crews was the come from behind babyface, and he was really in a great feud. Like it was building. Right in the middle It was almost at its crescendo, almost at the peak of it, and then he got pulled apart, and he was put in the main roster. He went to the main roster, I believe, before Corbin did. I mean, so I'll see what Corbin did. They messed up his thing too because he was the lone wolf, and he was really great in NXT, and then they just pretty much just cut his legs out from under him, you know. I don't know about that. I don't know why they did that to him, and then he's there tonight, looking like a babyface. Got a crowd reaction, really. People are reacting to him. But then I don't know why when he faced a number of weeks ago during the King of the Ring tournament, and then he loses to Carmelo Hayes. Now that's no normal average person to fucking lose to. Carmelo Hayes is great, but you should have let him win. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if was it the King of the Ring qualifier? But it was a match that they had. And I don't know why they let him lose. Because that night, when he came back, first time we saw him, the crowd was cheering for him. The crowd was behind him. So you know that would have been a situation where they'd be like, okay, we got him now in a place now where everybody's going to take to him. He's going to be good. He's going to be successful. And then you just let him be the Baron Corbin that he was in the past. A loser. We don't want that. He's great. He's even decent on the mic. That guy has everything. And then WWE keeps booking him that way. I mean, he was one of Vince McMahon's favorites, if I'm not mistaken. And then he even booked him wrong and bad. The guy is 6'8", right? Something like that. Really tall. He's just definitely tall. He's definitely big. You think that he's like a 6'4", 6'5", less than that. But he's a tall guy. Not big, but he's a big guy. But he's very lean in the way he's built, even though he's a big guy. You know, and he has everything that you could ever want. He could be in the same mold as Kevin Nash. You know, but they don't do it. They don't pull the trigger on him. They keep pulling the trigger on him and killing his momentum instead of just pulling the trigger and letting him go. Right? But just like in the Naomi thing, where we see her roll up Chelsea Green to a victory, we see another roll-up victory tonight. Santos pins Cruz for the victory. Because we saw him go to the top rope or the top turnbuckle to connect with some move. And then we see Elektra Lopez hop up on the apron and she grabs his leg or something. He drops down, looks like, what the hell are you doing, girl? And then Santos just rolls him up. Quick. I don't know. Again, loser. And Santos doesn't look strong for this. He pinned Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews was a top mid-carder, someone who's been there and somebody that everybody knows and that we know that how great he is. Would have meant something, but really. You should have built up Crews again. And then all of a sudden Santos attacks him or Angel attacks him. And that would be like, oh, this is going to be a great match because Cruz has been on a roll lately. No. He only came back, a couple of weeks ago? After being gone? I don't know. Now, this was a, head scratcher. Like, why are Andrade and the team of Cedric Alexander and Ashante Diadonis, remember them? When they were, Ashante Diadonis was trying out, wasn't he the one? No, it was Cedric that was trying out all kinds of looks. And Ashante Diadonis was like, oh, nah. They were building up it was a vignette and pretty interesting. These are two guys that are pretty much the same mold, the way they work in the ring, the look, everything like that. And then they've been gone since then. One time, one off when it comes to their appearance, that vignette, and then they're gone. Then here they are, Andrade, those two, and then we see Pretty Deadly in the crowd, in the front row. And I'm like going, shouldn't they be on the show? Not be treated like they are some upcoming talents that recently signed. This is something that you see with NXT talents that are recently signed, like Julia, right? And in the past, we've seen Asuka just have the same treatment. Ricochet had the same treatment. Samoa Joe. All these guys, when they got signed to WWE, They were in the front row, looking and watching the proceedings there, or wherever takeover that was happening. You know, and then there they are. Oh, and they did mention that Andrade is the new Speed champion. Who gives a fuck? Does anybody care about that championship? The graphic in front of Andrade doesn't even say Speed champion. It says Andrade. So does that really mean anything? They mentioned it, but who cares? Show some attention to detail. At least show that. Andrade doesn't deserve a title like that. What is this? The second coming of the damn 24/7 title, and the damn before that the hardcore title? I mean, what is up with that? Even the hardcore title was fun. It actually meant something. Because during that era, of course, it was all about chaos and anarchy and all this stuff. You know, because it was the Attitude Era at the time, and at the height of that championship. You know, then we did this. Like, why are they there? They're on the show. They're not signed to WWE recently. They're on the show. Show them. What, you know? Haven't they, like, isn't there, like, prospects or people that they have and they could have easily put in that spot? You know, what happened? Did they not make it? Did they have, like, 3, 4 new signees that from NXT, or that as a prospect that might come to the main roster sometime in the future, and they didn't make it? Their bus was delayed, or their Ubers didn't pick them up on time, and they got stuck in their hotel. What was going on? Like, you're gonna show these guys? We know who they are. You know, they're not new. Why would they show like how they usually would show a new signee? You know, that this boggles my mind. And now, WWE Champion Cody Rhodes. Well, Cody Rhodes, he sung to the ring. And I'm like, oh please, like, it's like enough with these foreign crowds singing every goddamn time. It's almost like it's a thing now. If you go to Ireland, if you go to Glasgow, like here, or you go to France, or you go to Berlin, or whatever, these guys are going, well, our fellow countrymen or our fellow European countrymen sang, let's sing over here. You know how stupid and silly it gets and how annoying it gets? You know, enough with your singing. If I want to watch, you know, American Idol or The Voice or America's Got Talent, I'll watch that. I don't watch WWE for a sing-along. No? Why don't they put the damn lyrics and have the bouncing ball follow the lyrics as they sing? I get it. You're in the crowd and you want to have fun. Sure. Your guys are having fun. I'm not having fun listening to this crap. And then Cody is sung to. What are they singing? It is really annoying and comes off like they are hijacking the show. People can say all they want that, oh no, they're just having fun. But no, they're hijacking the show. They're making it all about themselves. That's what it is. Yes, that's the thing to do now. It's the in thing to do. Let's sing. This isn't damn, like I said before in the past, this isn't AEW with Chris Jericho and them singing his song. You know, leave it to them. That's amateur hour. Leave it to them. But then as Rhodes is talking, he's interrupted by Styles. And Cody tells AJ pretty much that he's starting to resemble the type of superstars that outstay their welcome. You know, they're there too long. They don't know when to retire, when to hang up the boots, and then he's beginning to look like one of those guys. Maybe he should have retired, you know, those number of weeks ago. And I'm telling you, this crowd needs to shut the fuck up. I mean, singing to Cody like I understand what the fuck you're saying. And then Styles is like, you know what? He's talking to Cody and he goes, you know, just like this crowd needs to shut up. He pretty much, I wish he pretty much said, shut the fuck up. Like, you know. And then they are finally face to face. After they're drowning out both Cody and even especially Styles. I couldn't even understand what he said at times. I got the gist, but it's just like, you know. And then in my mind, I'm going, this crowd is really, really taking me out of it. They're taking me out of this segment, you know. But then Cody, according to Styles, mentions how Styles mentions how Cody quit WWE, New Japan, Ring of Honor, and then a company that he helped started, AEW. Well, he didn't mention it by name, but he started it up with with the Bucks, with Omega, I believe Hangman too. But I'm surprised he didn't say TNA because he was in TNA, so he could have said that because he could have easily said TNA because he said ROH, and that's a part of AEW. I don't know if these guys know, but it wouldn't surprise me because nobody knows about Ring of Honor anymore. It's not even a brand. I mean, it's not even a company or a different wrestling promotion. It's part of AEW. So them saying it, they might as well have said AEW. They said it was the Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor is AEW pretty much. And he talks about Cody. He says he can't handle the pressure. When the going gets tough, the saying he says, when the going gets tough, Cody gets going. Now Cody admits that he walked away. He has a good reason to. He says he didn't quit. He left to better himself, and boy did he ever. Went to New Japan, went to TNA, went to even NWA. He even battled the now GM of SmackDown, Nick Aldis. But then when he was in the AWA, he was the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. I believe he held that title for like 5 years or something like that, 3-4 years, something like that. He held it for a long time. And then he talks about how he stands today as a WWE champion, and it's so because he took a chance on himself. And I love how he mentioned that Styles had to pretend to be Mark Henry for a night in order to get a rematch. I'm like, that is like that's a rub right there. That's like not a rub, but a jab. That is like a low blow if you ever, And then Styles is like this, like he's just like, oh, you had to bring that up, because he's probably thinking everybody's bringing that up on podcasts, on tweets and stuff like that, all over. And it is. I mean, his shirt he wore, it was an oversized jacket that he wore, just like Mark Henry. It looked like it was a pink shirt, right? Pink jacket, right? And was it pink or was it light blue? Whatever. No, that's Styles wore light blue one. But you know what I mean? Like everybody got that. Even in my mind, like after I watched, I go, that's that Mark Henry fucking spot, And again, the annoying Cody Rhodes singing is heard again. Cody Rhodes was into it at first, and then you can kind of see, and I'm not trying to say I'm going to speak for Cody, but I think in his mind he was just probably thinking, all right, guys, shut the fuck up already. I get it. You love me. Stop. It's like, because they were being obnoxious with it. That's the thing that I don't like, is being obnoxious with it. Not doing it, but these guys were being obnoxious with it. We get it. Overseas, everybody in other countries has to sing now. That's the thing now. They even did that on later on, and I'll talk about that in the main event. If I remember. I usually say that. There are times I say that on video and I forget to mention it. But, to kind of end that, Styles just talks about how, he's not going to quit. He's not like Cody. And he's going to do whatever it takes to win his championship. Whether it be, beating him to a bloody pulp, he's going to do it. Because his end goal, his end game is the undisputed WWE championship. And, Kathy Kelly's back there, the lovely Kathy Kelly. I love seeing her. And she's interviewing the Prophets with b-fab. And she talks about how do they feel that because they got themselves and stuck their noses in Bloodline business. They said, of course we did, says Montez Ford. And then the Bloodline makes them pay for it backstage. They lay him out, they knock him down, they ran off b-fab. She wasn't going to hang around. She's a girl. She's not going to be fighting or even trying to attempt to fight the Bloodline or do something to get in the way, And that begs the question: will KO have the backup he needs, or is he gonna go it alone? And then we see Shayna and Zoe. I ain't got no problem with Shayna and Zoe. They're very talented, but here in a vignette, they are so confident that they're going to become the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And I say, and I ask the question, ladies, and I ask, well, if history repeats itself, you will not achieve that goal, and it will be the same old results. The same results. 2 times before you tried, you didn't win. This time you have 2 people or 2 teams that you got to fight in order to win that tag. You know, you only have to beat one team. No, there's no championship advantage in a triple threat. There's a triple threat tag team match, but we'll see. And it's Tiffy time. Good to see Tiffany Stratton. As Tiffany Stratton sits on ring announcer's side as she observes the Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax, who takes on the challenge of Michin. I love Michin, but she's no challenge. The way they book her, she might as well just be a local enhancement talent. And then we see Tiffany Stratton. She throws water into Michin's face. And that doesn't draw a type of a decision to disqualify Nia Jax or something. But I guess because Tiffany Stratton technically is not officially with Nia Jax, she's just there to observe. And this distracts Michin. She goes in there, she gets taken down by a body attack. Nia Jax just runs at her and just knocks her down. And then she pulls her to the corner, and then she delivers the Annihilator. And the Annihilator usually takes out Jax's opponents, and it does that here as she beats Michin. And of course, she's going to. Why is she going to be defeated here? She is the future challenger for the WWE Women's Championship. Depends on who that is. Come SummerSlam. And then we see backstage, and KO updates us, and no, the Profits won't have his back after they were attacked by the Bloodline. Now, we see Logan Paul, and he loses to a couple of 14-year-olds in the Tetris tournament. And then Logan Paul comes home, right? To his home in Puerto Rico. One of his bonehead friends are there. Hey, you got a buddy from L.A. waiting on you. Logan Paul's like, a pal from L.A.? A friend from L.A.? Who? He's walking down the hall there. Looks out to his pool. He's like, hell no. No, who is the one in the pool? Lounging in the pool. On one of those floaties, right? Just chilling. Drinking something. And it's L.A. night. Like I said, he's lounging in Logan Paul's pool. And this is what I thought. I'm thinking, and I guess Logan Paul's pals are as stupid as they look. As they let L.A. Knight into Logan Paul's house. It's just like, haven't they been watching WWE? Don't they know that who who LA Knight is? It's pretty stupid when you try to play like you don't know. Yes, I get it. Maybe they don't know who he is. But you would think they would. And they're going to let him into his own house. Oh, a friend of yours from LA. Don't you think that these guys would know any of his friends from LA? Stupid writing. Dumb. He's that stupid. He got mad at the security. Where's security? I mean, they're fired, but they got one more job to do and get LA Knight out of here. How about you fire your friends? Kick them out. I mean, the guy that greeted him was that one dude, that goofy looking guy, but he's the one that always has the camera, holds the camera, and films LA Knight when they go wherever they go. LA Knight, Logan Paul. And then as Logan Paul, pretty much just telling LA Knight, get out, man, get out. LA Knight's walking out. He's telling them pretty much that, hey, man, you should have joined me earlier. We could have had a lot of fun. We could have been, chilling and all that stuff. And then he said, all right, I'll see you in Chicago next week. So I guess that's where it's going to emanate from, SmackDown. I guess that's where they're going to be after Clash at the Castle. Now, it's him. Who's him? That's Carmelo Hayes. And again, he trash talks LA Knight as he is up in the crowd right near the luxury suites there. I'm just thinking, are they building to a feud between these two? I don't mind seeing it, but he's always trash talking LA Knight, telling him that he ain't nowhere near who he is, stuff like that. And he had to go all the way to Puerto Rico just to swim in Logan Paul's pool. But then he ends this thing, talks about it, and says that he is in the Money in the Bank qualifier and promises that he will be mellow in the bank. Not Money in the Bank, but mellow in the bank. That's pretty clever. I like that. And I like him. I think he's great. I wouldn't mind seeing him as the Money in the Bank holder. And he can hold that for a year, and in that year, up until WrestleMania, he can build himself up to even be more of a heel that he is now, and more of a pain in the backside of all of the superstars that he's going to be, coming across. I think I could see these two, him and LA Knight in a SummerSlam, maybe a grudge match. Or maybe LA Knight's going to be facing Logan Paul there at SummerSlam for the U.S. title. And then maybe Melo is going to be the next challenger. That's a good setup. Classic matchup. You got a heel and Carmelo Hayes taking on the babyface of LA Knight. That'd be good. I wouldn't mind seeing that. And now, backstage, we see Nick Aldis as Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa are flanking Solo Sikoa with the wise man by their side as they're walking up to the ring. But while they're backstage still, Nick Aldis tells them that because of what happened earlier, they took out the they took out the Prophets. He tells them both that Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa are barred from ringside. And Paul Heyman, is telling him that if you lose, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, who don't, respect leadership already, imagine if he lost, what's going to be their thoughts about Solo Sikoa? Well, he pretty much tells Heyman, no, that's not what's going to happen. If I lose this match, Solo's promised that he's going to go after the wise man. So in this whole match, you see Paul Heyman very, very, he's worried. His eyes are darting back and forth. He's just beside himself, and he's rooting for Solo Sikoa to win, even though he should be anyways. But you see some situations there where you see he's desperate, his actions, to make sure that Solo Sikoa comes out on top. Now, as the bell rings, KO looks to end things early as he takes it to Solo hot and heavy. He's right on him, right on top of him. And I love KO's shirt because it read Scotland 316. And then we see him come down with a frog splash onto Solo from the outside apron to the floor below. This match is physical, very hard hitting, and a lot of fun to watch. It's a banger for sure. And so far, so good, really great. And Solo takes and absorbs the offense of the tribal chief Solo Sikoa. Well, no. That means KO. You know. That's it. Solo takes and absorbs, you know, the offense of. What am I trying to say? It's just like the way I wrote my notes sometimes. I think I'm half sleeping, half awake. It's KO that takes and absorbs the offense of the tribal chief Solo Sikoa. I mean, can I say that with confidence? I mean, just because he proclaimed himself that, does it mean he is, or does it mean it is so? And a spinning solo on KO, and even a second one sees KO kick out both times. And two super kicks by KO sets up Solo for a swanton, but Solo got the knees up. But Solo attempts a Samoan spike but misses and gets nailed with a stunner. But Heyman places Solo's leg on a rope, saving his ass from an assured Solo ass beating. But Solo wins this one after KO goes after the wise man. And then we see Solo hit him with a Samoan spike outside the ring. He does that to KO, and then he also does it on the inside. And then he ends up, winning the match. Whereas he was assured to lose to KO if it had not been for the desperation move of Paul Heyman. And then Tama Tonga Tangaloa come out and he lay a beat down on KO, but then the Viper's music hits, Randy Orton returns, and he aids his buddy KO. And he dishes brutality out to the Bloodline. And after they're there and they're actually walking back up the ramp, he tends to KO, and they end up standing tall in the ring, both KO and Randy Orton. I was just wondering, where was Randy? I haven't seen him in a bit. And there he is. And of course, when it comes to Randy Orton, as much as I'm a fan, love the guy, think he's great, they're just singing his song now, singing his theme song. It's already old, folks. It's not new. It's not trendy. It's not in vogue anymore. I mean, it's stopped already. You're just doing it now because you just want to be popular, because you just want to do the in thing, the hip thing to do. It's not, if you overdo it, if you overdo anything, it gets tiresome and old. I know Randy enjoys it. He's been in interviews and he's talked about how he enjoys it. And maybe that's the only reason why I'm kind of like, okay, for Randy, all right. Doesn't mean that I gotta like it, but Randy likes it. That's great. That's great that he can appreciate that. Who knows? You guys might be getting duped by him. He probably doesn't like it for real, but he just says it so that he doesn't hurt feelings. But I don't care if I hurt feelings. Who cares? Who am I? Randy Orton's the one has everybody's eyes on him, so he has to watch what he says, right? He doesn't want to lose his fan base. What fan base do I have? I don't care. But anyway, that was SmackDown. The night before Clash at the Castle. I didn't realize it was already on us. And it's a special 1 o'clock start time. I think it's the same thing where it's going to start at 10 in the morning here on the West Coast. So I'm definitely not going to do that video until tomorrow. Or now it's Saturday. Now it's Saturday morning now. So I won't be doing it until probably just mid-afternoon, or not even mid-afternoon, fucking early evening, maybe late evening. Whenever I get around to it, I will get to it. But, that's neither here nor there. When I get to it, I get to it. Anyways, that is my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Like I said, I did enjoy SmackDown. Very, very good build-up. It's actually been a bit good build-up for the last number of weeks. And of course, this is the last show before Clash of the Castle, so we'll see what happens there. Who comes out on top? Who is going to be the still remaining? What am I trying to say? I'm looking forward to Clash of the Castle. Let's see who comes out on top, who remains champion, who becomes new champions, who settles their grudges, whatever. Whatever's going to happen on Clash of the Castle. Looking forward to it. Anyway, that's my video again. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And until next time, take care, and I will see you in my next video.